What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I want to talk about Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. Now, I know I make a Palantir video earlier today, but I got to be honest with you. I have never, ever been as bullish for Palantir as I am today. And I don't say that lightly. Literally last week, I said I have never been as bullish for Palantir as I am today. And now I'm even more bullish, and I'll tell you why. But the last week when I said that, I have not been that bullish on Palantir for like a year and a half. And the reason why is you're starting to see what an absolute beast Palantir is and the absolute massive capabilities that they have in terms of adaptability. And by adaptability, I mean that they're literally in everything. And they literally have a use case for everything. As long as you have something that has to do with data, which is pretty much everything, well, Palantir is for you. The capabilities that Palantir gives you makes you that much more efficient, makes you that much more better, so on and so forth. And the use cases essentially are unmeasurable. I mean, logically, it's dozens and dozens and dozens, but the use cases are going to keep growing, growing, growing. And the use cases are such different applicabilities, right? Commercial applicability, government applicability, non-military, and government applicability, military. And then if you want to break that down even more, you could do within the US, within our borders, and then you can go international. Earlier today, I put out a video about augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality, crazy shit that Palantir is coming out with. And this is literally an application to use your data in mixed reality scenario. But the beautiful thing is it's like Palantir Foundry, that it is literally agnostic. Palantir Foundry is not with one specific cloud provider. It's not a Microsoft, it's not a Google, it's not an Amazon. It's everything, all of the above, and then some. IBM and whatever other, cloud provider you have or want to use. Well, Palantir's augmented reality is literally agnostic as well. They were literally showing the goggles for Android, Microsoft, and Apple. And I'm sure Meta is not far behind, so on and so forth. And the applicability is for commercial use cases and for military use cases. But that's literally just the beginning. The best thing about Palantir is they're doing on-the-job training. Irrelevant of what happens in the future, they're literally training, doing research and development on the battlefield of Ukraine. I'm sure that they're going to be literally doing more research and development and training, whether immediately or in the short-term future, in Israel with the geopolitical uncertainty over there. And then they're going to apply everything that they're learning, all the research and development, into commercial use cases. This is a fact. This is what Palantir does. And the fact that Palantir is literally like water, as Bruce Lee said, they don't fit in any mold. They don't have a specific mold. They fit everywhere. Because at the end of the day, they allow you to do so much more with your data. Besides for that, here, I'll share my screen. Give me a moment. So you guys are well aware of FedStart, right? So FedStart is a program that Palantir started that allows you to pretty much piggyback on their connections, and they're essentially your mini auditor where you're using Palantir Foundry, and they make the introduction or allow you to work with the DoD, currently on impact level 5, but in the future impact level 6. And by doing this, in the long run, you might be spending more money, but you're definitely spending a lot less time. And in the short term, you're not putting out a lump sum, right? Because it takes millions of dollars and a very long time and a lot of connections and a lot of kissing ass and sponsors in order to do that. So Palantir literally made a program, and instead of the FedRAMP, which is what they're doing, they started something called FedStart. And already they onboarded like a dozen different companies that are working with them. So in the beginning, people were like, yo, that's crazy. What's the point of it? Well, they're literally on-ramping people, right? So this is their latest partnership. Sparta Science joins Palantir's FedStart to accelerate access to AI-enabled human readiness technology for U.S. government customers. FedStart is a software as a service offering that accelerates and expands access to federal government customers by enabling Sparta Science to run its platform within Palantir's secure and accredited environment. This collaboration signals a critical milestone in Sparta Science's commitment to enhancing security and compliance, so on and so forth. We're thrilled to join Palantir's FedStart program, blah, 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 blah. I could keep reading it, so on and so forth, but I'm just giving you another example of how Palantir literally has its tentacles in everything, and it's just a matter of time when, not if, Palantir's revenue is going to catch up. I think second half of 2024, the revenue is going to start ramping up. The percentage growth is going to start ramping up. Matter of fact, I would be shocked if we're not past 20% compound annual growth rate, or year over year, whatever you want to call it, for Palantir in second half of 2024. So let's talk about quarter 3 and quarter 4, or about a year from where we are right now. I would be shocked if it's not starting to catch up, because all of the free AIP boot camps, all of the free demos, all of the free samples is going to start paying off, because now you need to pay for it once the free wears off or expires. Besides for that, Palantir just gets this. Shout out to Ether Squared. This guy is a legend. You guys definitely have to follow him at Ether_Square. Palantir has been awarded 16.5 million euro. I guess that's like 18 or 19 million. Let's call it $20 million by the Spanish Ministry of Defense. What were we lacking? International contracts. Of course, commercial, but also military. This follows a POC, proof of concept, that was ordered back in December of last year. It looks like they liked it enough and bought the whole thing. Pretty freaking cool, right? Now, I definitely don't speak Spanish, and this is in Spanish, but yeah, I'll take Ether Squared's word for it. Pretty freaking cool, right? So Palantir just keeps expanding, and look at what happened with the healthcare. Healthcare last year, 0% of hospital beds. 2 years ago, non-existent. Last quarter, 13% hospital beds are running on Palantir software. Earlier this year, 10%. Now, 16%, guys. This is freaking massive. Astronomical growth by Palantir. Not to mention the geopolitical fucking uncertainty that we currently have in this world. And Palantir is literally freaking shining. NHS contract is going to be announced this month, in around 3 weeks from now. Palantir pretty much got this contract as per all media outlets. Now, I can't say 100%, but they are the front runner, and I don't think that's priced in. Add on S&P 500 inclusion, and I believe that 2024 is going to be a freaking fabulous year for Palantir. Also, I'm expecting a lot of upgrades when it comes to analysts. Guys, Palantir might just be in the perfect place, perfect time, perfect spot. Or maybe this is the culmination of what Dr. Alex Karp has been saying this entire time, that we build 5 years ahead. Now, people are still going to laugh, people are still going to judge, people are still going to smirk, and people are still going to be smug without even understanding what Palantir exactly does or is. But at the end of the day, Palantir is doing exactly what they need to be doing, should be doing, and they just keep expanding their reach in their capabilities and the offerings that they're giving, within certain sectors and subsectors, right? I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. I actually bought more shares of Palantir today, and I was buying the shares of Palantir at like $17, because I honestly think that $17 is going to be a good price for Palantir next year. Now, I could be completely wrong, but it seems like Palantir is becoming more sophisticated by the day. And on top of that, you stack it with Dr. Alex Karp, who's freaking doing really, really good with public relations, marketing, interviews. Shyam is doing interviews, so on and so forth. And yo, you got a real winning formula. And I said it before, I'll say it again, and now I have even more conviction. Palantir has a real opportunity of being a $1 trillion+ company in the future. Now, of course, that's not going to happen tomorrow. Might not even happen by 2030. But maybe in a decade from now, Palantir hits that 1 trillion. Who knows? Maybe sooner. Maybe it'll never come. Of course, none of this is financial advice. It's purely entertainment and education. But I'm just saying, like, Palantir is doing everything that they need to be doing, and conditions in the market is exactly ripe for Palantir. Freaking crazy. Really crazy. And we, as Palantir investors, freaking saw this a long time ago. And time again, we realize what's happening in the market before the market knows. Like, how many times did Ether find a link, or how many times did Palantir, or Chad, or Lord Grimm, or any of the other amazing people on Twitter that it's too many to even mention, are finding links before they hit, or finding news before it hits, or shout out to Deep Value, who found that $250 million contract before anybody else. The news was not even reporting it until about noon the next day. Meanwhile, the Palantir community knew about it, and then we were almost curious, why is the price not going up after hours? And then it shot up when the news hit it, right? When it hit the main news stations and articles. Look, at the end of the day, you're an adult, you're a grown person, and you invest how you invest for yourself. You do what's good for you. But for me, Palantir is literally just getting started. Thank you very much. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.